there. Okay, so this whole getting dark at 5 p.m. thing is really messing with my recordings because I can't do them in my car anymore because it's dark out. So now I'm in my washroom because this is the only place that has light in my house. So here we go. Okay, so I have two very important topics to discuss today. One is the friend zone, and the other one is he's not my type or she's not my type. So to give you a little inside scoop on Mike and I's relationship and how that whole started. So Mike and I met 4 days after me getting out of a 2-year-long relationship. And I use relationship quite loosely because it was awful. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, so we met and then we hung out for a couple days and I was kind of like, oh God, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm like, it's just different and, he's really funny and I'm maybe not feeling like the chemistry and I think maybe we'd be better off as friends. So then I tell him and I'm like, okay, I think we'd be better off as friends. And he's like, okay, cool. So do you want to hang out tomorrow? And I'm like, okay, sweet. And I'm like, yes, now, this is going to be sweet. I have a guy friend and we can hang out and be buds and high fives. And, so then we hung out, 2 weeks straight, every single day. And we ended up going out one night and I was like, we were out and I was looking at him and he was talking to other girls and I was like, okay, that's cool. We're friends, that shouldn't bother me at all. And so I was kind of I don't know why I feel jealous about this. So what the hell's going on here? Because we're just pals. So when I look back at all of this, these are really important factors that happened here. So basically, I was uncomfortable about the situation, so I put him into the friend zone. But over those 2 weeks of us hanging out, I saw a very different side of Mike, which was amazing because I was able to see really good qualities in him, which was one being he's an excellent communicator. Anytime that we were trying to plan something or he said he was going to call me, he always did. And if he said he was going to text me, call me, it was just so easy to plan things. I also had the opportunity to see what a gentleman he was. Even though we were just friends, he was just so lovely to me all the time. And then also he was so funny and so all of those things, I was when I stood back and thought okay, what a good friend he's being to me. What would that look like if we were then in a relationship, right? So then the other piece of this is he's not my type. So if we all think about how well going for a certain type has worked out for us, maybe things don't look so good. Trust me, I've been on that hamster wheel and that ride is no fun. So bear with me here with this analogy, okay? So if we have a recipe, and this is a cake recipe, and we are trying to make a cake, and over again, we use this recipe that continually does not work for us. We've tried it 10 times and we're okay, you know what? This recipe is out of control. We need to try something else because I need a different result. This would be the same concept in dating, right? The more and more you try something that's going down the same path that doesn't get you a good result, that's what we want to stay away from, right? Okay, so along with that, we are creatures of habit. We really like things that are familiar to us, things that we know, things that don't put us outside of our comfort zone. So if we looked at dating, for example, it would be a little bit easier for us to typically go for something that is more familiar to us, our type. However, when we then get someone thrown at us that is very outside of the mold of our type, it feels weird, it feels uncomfortable initially because we're this is very different. Kissing someone different than maybe you've always dated big, huge guys and all of a sudden you're dating maybe a little more petite man. That's going to feel really weird. And automatically we want to be we got to get rid of this, and let's just throw them in the friend zone because it's easier, right? Okay. And then we can also discuss about how can you make an assumption that you don't like something if you've never tried it. Okay, so another analogy here. we all have our picky eater friends, right? Those ones are like, no, I'm just gonna have like chicken fingers, blah, right? Okay, so we have a friend or you have a friend who is like, oh my God, like I hate olives. They're like the most disgusting things ever. And you're like, have you ever tried an olive? And they're like, no, God, I would never. And you're like, okay, just try an olive. And you finally get them to try an olive, and then they love olives. Love them. Now they're like eating them by the jar all the time, okay? So you don't know what you don't like until you try it, okay? Okay, so to tie this all up, I challenge you to, the next time that you are maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable because this person is different and maybe they're not your type and you automatically want to throw them into the friend zone, I challenge you to be a little bit more open-minded to the fact that one day that person could potentially be your happily ever after. And if it could happen to me, it could happen to you. So, all right, well, that just wraps things up for us here. Until next time, ta-ra loves, ta-ra. Bye-bye.